Hello, hello, hello.
What's up?
I don't know if you can see me.
I can see you.
Oh, there I am. It's a tiny little square.
How are you?
Well, our electricity just came back on. We had a blackout because super windy here in Dallas today and it knocked out the power. So perfect timing.
Are you born and raised in Dallas? Like that's hometown for you?
Born and raised, I've been here since 1988.
Damn.
And I love it. I have traveled this country and I'm so thankful and blessed to be from Dallas. The more I travel, the more I love it here. Dallas is booming, blossoming, growing, evolving. It is better today than it was when I was a child, and I'm so excited for its future.
That's amazing. I like obviously I'm in Canada and one of the places I really want to travel to is Texas. So I'll definitely have to come down to Dallas and see what it's all about.
You definitely have to come. And I know you probably see on the news a bunch of rambunctious political crap that happens here, but the main cities of Texas are very open minded. I mean, for example, Dallas has the largest neighborhood in all of Texas. So that just puts it into perspective what's going on here in the main city. So come on down. You will love it. We have amazing margaritas. It's beautiful. I love Texas.
That's awesome to hear. And you know what? You hit it. You said it perfectly that all the political stuff you see on TV and it probably wasn't till like I'm a big Rogan fan. I like Joe Rogan and he is now in Austin, Texas. He's trying to bring he loves Texas. Like he talks about it all the time. He loves the state. And it's true though. All you ever hear is about it, and just a personal opinion, but guns and hunting and Texas is all bigger, better, faster, stronger. But you're so right. Like well, not small cities, all these cities in Texas have so much going for them. I've always heard such good things about the cities in Texas.
Oh, and they're all very unique too. Austin, I would say, is Texas's version of maybe you would say San Francisco. It's
Okay.
very laid back, open minded, very peace and love and welcome. Let's be weird together. It's got that energy, and I love Austin so much. Dallas is more known for being larger than life, very cosmopolitan. It has that reputation from the 80s, famous soap opera, and all the history that's happened here. I mean, Dallas Fort Worth is the fourth largest metroplex in the United States of America. And at the same time, Houston is the fourth largest city in the United States of America. So that's why they always have this friendly rivalry. And then if you go to San Antonio, totally different atmosphere, mood. You have the Alamo there. I mean, every city is so unique. It's what makes Texas so cool. And then you go to El Paso, and that's way out in the distance, big old city over there, and totally different things. So Texas is huge. I think it takes about 9 to 10 hours to drive it across.
See, and that's the perspective is so crazy because the amount of people that are in Texas, I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure is fairly close to the amount of people in total in Canada.
That could be a thing. We'd have to Google that fact, but I'm sure that could be a thing. I just love it here. So you definitely got to come, honey. Come on down.
Definitely.
You're in Canada. I think you're like 6 hours away on a plane, maybe 3 or 4.
Which is that blows my mind because I'm not a big traveler. I'd want to be. I just haven't so far, but I've been to like Michigan. That's the only place I've been in the USA. And then I've been to a couple different provinces in Canada and I've been to Cuba. So like hopping on a plane, going to Cuba for 4 hours, or I can hop on a plane and fly halfway across the United States in 4 hours. I definitely want to experience a lot of it. And I want to go to the US and experience all the different parts of it and see what it's all about, but also with Canada too.
Oh, I love Canada. Ever since I got off the circle, I mean, the people that write me from Canada, I'm like, I don't know what y'all drinking in Canada or what's going on over there, but the people are so freaking sweet. I get so many messages from Canadians and Brazilians. And I'm like,
Really?
what is going on in Brazil and Canada? I love Canada. When I think of Canada, I think of crisp, clean air. I think of Degrassi.
Drake.
I love Degrassi. I grew up watching that in high school and I love it. Every now and then I'll be in my room still catching up on it, binge watching it. And I love the nostalgia it gives me. I just think Canada is awesome. And I love the history of Canada and how it's always been so open-minded and welcoming. I mean, so many slaves went to Canada for freedom. So Canada's always been, progressive. And I just love Canada for all that.
Have you been?
I've never been, but I'm
Yeah.
a huge architecture fanatic. I love skyscrapers and skylines and buildings, and Canada has gorgeous skylines. I've Googled images of it and I just check it out and soak it in. I'm like, how beautiful. I would love to go to Canada one day.
Well, they finally just released that the land travel between Canada and the US is going to go back to normal as of like end to mid-November. So you haven't been able to come across here by land travel unless you were traveling with goods and services or for work. And then you had to quarantine. So it's kind of just been like a pain in the ass to go back and forth. But I'm about 3 hours from Michigan. You definitely, if you like the skyscrapers and the big downtown cities and like the skylines, Toronto would be a good one. So would Vancouver. Like, yes, they're big city. And in my opinion, like I think that cities have their need in the world. Like, trust me, I'll go to a city, I'll have a great time, but I'm also one to want to get the hell out and go back into my small town and have like my space and my land and all that stuff. But when you go to Toronto, you can go out onto Toronto Island, and it's a island probably like 1.5 kilometers off the coast there, or off the land there, and you can see the entire skyline, all the skyscrapers from there. So that definitely have to be something you got to check out someday.
Skyline porn.
Yeah, exactly.
I just got back from New Jersey, New York, and I was in love. I felt like I got bit by the New York bug. I was just like, gosh, there's so much to do here, so much to see. It's a big city in a different way, because Dallas is a big city, but in a different way. And I love how over there you leave your apartment, there's thousands of people all on the streets. There's so much to see, so much history. I love it. And I love the cold. I love cold weather. I used to be big. I tell everybody I'm a big girl at heart. And I love cold weather because I'm always hot. Here in Texas, I sleep with a ceiling fan on, a tower fan. I have a bed jet that blows air under my blanket. I'm always hot. So you guys are very blessed to be up north where it's super cold and the snow and the ice. Love it.
So you're in Dallas, but you said you've been in New York. Does Dallas doesn't get snow?
We do. We actually do. It's the trippiest thing. We get snow here. We get ice storms. I believe we get more snow in Dallas than all of Texas does. And last year, or early this year, time has just been flying. We had a massive snowstorm, and the Texas power grid failed us for a while, and we had no energy for, I think more than a week. It went below zero here. For the first time in my entire life, I had to sleep in below zero cold weather.
Wait a minute. This was like a state of emergency, was it not?
Yeah, it was all over the news. It was all over the news.
I'm thinking I'm remembering this now.
Yes, it was all over the news. And one of our politicians here escaped to Cancun, and it was all over the news. He was trying to get out of Texas while everybody's here suffering. And it was just a horrible, horrible thing. And that I could keep going on that road, but anywho, we made it through the snowstorm by the grace of God. I managed to get a hold of 40 candles, and I gave 20 to my mom, and I kept 20 in my room, and that was our heater, our source of heat, the candles, and it worked. 20 candles, it worked. We bunched them all together in my room, lit them all up, and it was like a little heater emanating heat. And that's how I stayed warm in below zero weather.
Okay, now I'm so intrigued.
Yes.
So like snow isn't extremely common though for you, correct?
Well, every winter we'll get a few days of snow. It's not going to be like the whole month is covered in snowstorms. We'll get snow. Some years it's heavier than others, and other years we'll experience ice storms.
Does it stay on the ground?
Yes, it does. It actually does. And when we experienced this snowstorm, was it early this year, late last? Anywho, when we experienced it, it was, like inches and inches of snow, like tons of snow. It was a very fascinating thing. So every now and then we do get it. A few years ago, the city of Dallas hosted the Super Bowl. And on Super Bowl weekend, we had a massive snowstorm, and all the city was in a panic. Like, what is going to happen? This is such a big event for there to be snow on the freeways. There's thousands of tourists here and visitors. And God is so good. The day of the Super Bowl, he sent warmer weather. Everything melted, and the show went on. like right on time.
Can't make that up.
God bless Texas. I'm telling you.
But like, just to put it into perspective, like you guys don't have snow plows, or like when you say you had candles to heat yourself up, do you guys have like furnaces in your house?
We do not. I'm sure some people in Dallas do, but we at my house we do not, and we didn't have a generator or anything like that because we've never been in that state where we needed it. And by the grace, now we do. Now we have a generator moving forward. We never want to experience what we experienced again. No energy. The way we charged our phone was every now and then, like a miracle would happen. We'd get like energy for 20 minutes and then boom, it'd go out for another 10, 11 hours.
No way.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
This is mind blowing because there's no way that there's a house in Canada that wouldn't be built with a furnace.
Yeah,
like, there's no way.
Now, some people here have fireplaces, and I'm sure that really helped them stay afloat.
That'd be helpful.
But it's sad because a lot of people did pass away here in Texas when that happened. It was sad. You heard on the news, people passed away, elderly people passed away, some homeless folks, I believe. I mean, it was sad. I remember hearing a story about a kid. He fell asleep. They thought they had bundled him up enough, but he fell asleep and woke up dead. I guess it was just too cold. He didn't make it through the night. So it was intense.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So moving forward, we hope that they can fix whatever they need to fix energy wise so that we never experience that again. Because I mean, dude, that's bad. Days and days with no power, really bad.
It's just honestly like this wasn't really going to be my topic, but it's so interesting because your infrastructure is not built to handle the snow that we get. Like even like seeing some of the videos of like the snow that you guys were getting and the ice you were getting, some of the roofs weren't even built to withstand the amount you guys got.
I'm sure maybe some probably were not, but the sad thing is the state should have prepared better for what happened because in 2011, the year of that Super Bowl, it was such a bad snowstorm, ice storm that things should have been put in place from then so that what happened recently would have never occurred. And so hopefully, let's hope now that we're moving into winter that things are better in place. But trust and believe, we got our generator back in that back shed ready in case anything happens. We're gonna pump that bitch up with some gasoline and make it as best as we can.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Just like doesn't seem so far away, and it's just a completely different climate and different challenges to have to deal with. I got to get off the topic. I'll talk to you about that for an hour. I won't get.
I could too. I could talk about politics and all things, but it's a beautiful day. It's almost Friday to all the listeners who are listening, honey. And so we are going to talk all things joy.
And you know what? That's one of the main reasons I wanted to interview you, because I'm sure you have your bad days. I'm sure you have your days where you don't want to do fuck all, or you want to just sit there and do your thing. But when you express the people that follow you and the people around you, you're so happy. You always push joy. You always push happiness. And no matter what you're doing, you're happy doing it. And I think that just needs to be so much more of social media's aspect. Like instead of like pointing out the negative all the time and commenting on people's stuff so negatively or arguing with everyone about everything, like it's a really like refreshing thing to see people like you on social media that are just happy and who they are all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, it all stems from my spirituality. That's for sure. God came to me when I was 14. I was in a really dark place, almost committed suicide, and a book on my bed changed my life and introduced me to God. And ever since I was 14, I've really immersed myself and learned about this faith and the religion and all these things. And it's made me who I am. And it's a very interesting thing because a lot of LGBTQIA people run away from God because it's been pushed into their mind that God doesn't like them or hates them or we're all going to hell. And here my story is I ran to God instead of away. And the God that I know, the God that I've learned is not the God that these people have been brainwashing so many innocent folks with. And it's a sad thing. And I'm very thankful that my experience on the circle has opened up the conversation about God and how God is love and God is for us and not against us and all that. And it is that source of energy that I draw my energy from. Of course, I'm human and I have days where I'm just like blah in a blah mood, especially when I'm hungover.
Everyone's got that. Oh yeah, especially if I'm hungover. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Give me the cheeseburger and let me be.
Let me be, honey. But what I do is I practice what I preach. There's a verse that says, bring all your thoughts into the obedience and the knowledge of God. Something along those lines. And I tell myself that anytime I'm in public, anytime I'm dealing with people, anytime I do anything like that, I am now a representative and ambassador of that energy. And so I tap into that and I am that. And so
Yeah.
when I'm having a bad day, I tell myself what's going through your mind. I'm mindful of what I'm thinking, and then I bring it to God. And a good trick that I do is I tell folks, if you're ever in that bad situation, take a pause, realize what you're thinking, and then let's start telling ourselves everything we are grateful for. And your attitude just changes. It will instantly change. And we have to live in this state of mind because depression, anxiety, all that negative shit ain't going to do nothing for absolutely nobody. There is no other option but get your shit together, figure it out, find faith, figure something out, or be depressed and all that, which produces nothing, absolutely nothing. I don't know not one depressed person who's been down in the dumps that anything good has come from that. We have to really get ourselves together. And I speak from experience because God, I was about to kill myself.
You know what? It's you're speaking my language, not in the aspect that I've ever been to the point where I thought about suicide or anything related to that. But I have had shit happen in my life, and I've talked to numerous people that I've had on this podcast, people who have had their mom almost murdered, people that have had their mom pass away from cancer, had to deal with crazy things in their life at some of the hardest times in their life, and somehow made it through. And now they're some of the best people. Like, thank you for picking up that book, because you deserve to be here, and and the world is a better place with you here, Chris. So
I really appreciate it. No, thank you for those very kind words, but more so, thank God for coming to me and saving my life. There's actually a Bible verse that says, "You didn't choose me, I chose you." And that gives me chills because I was not meant to leave the world at that time. And I'm so thankful I'm still here. So for all those people that are going through something, listen, honey, everything can change. There is actual hope. And I promise anybody out there, if you choose God or subscribe to it, it is beyond life changing. Like, I was hella depressed, dude. My thoughts were just the darkest of dark.
yeah.
And everything changed. And no wonder he calls himself the light, because I felt like the light came in, and the words that God speaks are so transformative. Nobody else can speak that way or say something like that can really just change your life to the extent that God does. It's the best thing I've ever did for myself.
You said you were 14 when you picked up the Bible.
Well, it wasn't the Bible. It was a book. It was this book that right here. And this is not an advertisement. It's actually called God is in the Small Stuff by the authors Bruce and Stan. It's a very easy read, but it introduced God to me in such a way that I could understand it at that age, because I was 14 years old. Growing up, I was raised Catholic, but when you're a kid, you don't listen to none of that at church. You want to go home and play Nintendo.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this man talking about up there wearing this robe, But when life got hard, and I was going through it, this was exactly what I needed. And it changed my life. It changed my life so instantly. And it started something in me so big and profound that I remember one day I went to school and a friend of mine comes up to me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm good. Why? What's going on? She's like, "You seem so happy these days." I said, "I am." She goes, "What are you taking?" And I said, "Nothing, girl." I said, "Honestly, I think I have found God." And she goes, "Oh man," like she wanted a quick fix pill, but no. And with God too. Yes, it touched me in a way where it was really revolutionary at that moment. But God is work too. We have to step up to the plate and study it, apply it, learn it, live it. Some people think, oh my gosh, a miracle overnight, which sometimes can happen. But for the most part, it's a lifelong walk. That it is the great walk, because it changes everything. Your whole worldview changes, and it's an amazing thing.
Do you still give yourself credit for your happiness and your success and stuff like that? Like, and the reason why I put it like that is like, yes, that it obviously helped you so much. It kept you alive. It kept you on this earth. It obviously was very powerful for you and your life, and you still walk with it every single day by the sounds of it. I'm just wondering, do you like, And I was a very religious person growing up. I always went to church. I went to youth group. I went to Bible camp, for Christ's sakes. I did the whole thing, and I did find a lot of joy in it. And regardless if it was me just saying like or going towards God or whatever it may have been, it was something that I was such a rambunctious ADHD crazy different kid, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
this brought me together with other kids and other opportunities, and it gave me some of my best friends in my life, people that are going to stand up beside me in my wedding. So
Mhm.
I just think, regardless if it's God or if it's a way that you got there or whatever it was that helped you, I ramble. You'll get
Oh,
used
I
to that.
love it. I'm so into it. I'm glued to you, man.
I just wanted to know, like, do you still sit there? Like, do you think like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be anything right now? Or do you believe that you did this too?
I give myself zero credit for anything I've ever done. I give 100%, a million percent credit to God, because if it wasn't for the mindset that He gave me by researching and learning the Word, I would not have been able to do anything, nothing that I've ever done. The gift is the Word, and the Word transformed the way I think and the way I am and the way I respond and react to the world. So I give all that credit to God. Without that Word, without that mindset that He has given me through the Word, I can't function. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So everything that I've ever accomplished is a byproduct. It is the fruit of what I have gained from obeying and living in that Word, in that state of mind. It is a worldview. So everything that I am is all thanks to Him. I'll leave this world one day and people will forget about me, but they ain't gonna forget about Him. you know?
I do see that, and like, correct me if I or if you don't agree with me, I completely understand. The way I look at it, and the reason why I give you so much credit, and I see it all the time with friends or with people that I've interviewed, where it always just seems like, and you're very like, you don't give yourself glowing, or you don't like, I forget what the word I'm trying to think of is.
Like
um
gloating.
yeah, like, you're not like that. You don't give yourself all that credit and all that stuff. But the way I relate it to it, and I know this isn't like the greatest um, way to relate the two, but the way I look at it is, God is the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You went to the gym, you found him, you worked out on all that machinery, you got jacked. Now you're jacked. You look at it as, I busted my ass every single day to get jacked. I used what was there for me. This stuff
Mm-hmm.
helped me, but without me actually taking the steps to introducing that and putting it in my life, I would still wouldn't be, you say to yourself, you wouldn't be here, but you still wouldn't be who you are now without you.
Right, right, right. Well, I am definitely here on this planet. I am a human being walking through it. But what I've learned digging deeper into the Word is that we are actually being, when He says, in the verse, you plan your day, but I establish where you go. I mean, think of what that really means. That's pretty deep. When you read the other verses that say, when they bring you up to like councils or groups of people that are against you, it's not even you speaking, it's the Holy Spirit speaking through you. And that's all the time, because God is the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, and He's always with you. He never leaves you. He's around you, inside you. So when you really let that sink in, we're never separated from Him. Never. We're actually together all the time. And everything that we are doing is together, togetherness. The source of life is God. The source of the air that I breathe is God. I'm walking on His land. I can't escape it. And it's a amazing thing. No wonder He says, I'll never leave you or forsake you, because you can't escape Him. So I've learned to embrace the help that He gives me and literally look at it as a tangible and real thing. It's like, it's not even me no more. And there's another verse that says that it's not even I that live no more. It's Christ living through me. I'm here, that He's here in me, working through me in spirit. And that's why those verses always talk about all glory to God. It all makes sense to me now, because He's living through us if we accept Him. He's resurrected within me. And so that's why I really don't take credit for anything, nor would I want to. I'm just here to do whatever He has me to do, and then I'm rolling out. And that's pretty much it. What is the glory for me? Houses, cars, fame. I mean, that's so temporary. I want what He offers, which is eternal peace enjoy moment to moment to moment. People don't give a shit if I had millions of houses and cars and stuff. People probably don't even give a shit about fame, which they probably really don't. People today are looking for peace, and they're looking for something more to life than all these um materialistic things. And to me, God list. There was a time where I started thinking about a life without God, and there's no point in even living it. If there is no God, what's the point of life? We're all just here. We're all just here. If you talk to an atheist, they'd say, oh, all this happened as a big mistake, or it's a huge accident, but with God, when you put that into the equation, everything finds its right place. Things start making sense, gives purpose to your life. To me, that's more wealth than any of this other materialistic stuff or va va boom and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. It's a beautiful thing that I get to go to McDonald's and buy whatever I want these days, because I remember being broke as a joke. But I think God is the best thing this world can offer me. And I'm so thankful that we have that clue. Yeah. And I'm so thankful that he gave us this huge bone, this huge thing, this huge clue that there's more to life than what we see. Because I look at life in a very interesting way. Your brain is a huge piece of meat, yet there's a freaking voice in it that can see pictures and understand people and words and imagine and stuff. How the fuck do you put that in a big slab of meat, which is a brain, That to me already makes me know that there's something else going on beyond us. There's a verse that says he's clearly perceived in all things, so there's no excuse. And it is so true. Look at the world around you. Everything is way too perfect. There's information in everything, in space, in your blood, the DNA. Who the fuck put all this information and stuff? There is a higher mind that is in everything. If we were closer to the sun, we'd all burn to death. If we're further away from it, we'd all freeze to death. How the fuck is everything so perfect? That is not by accident. And it all goes back to that verse. He's clearly perceived. And so, yeah. Oh, I could talk about this for hours.
No, I can honestly respect it. Everyone, like, it's something that's brought you peace. It brings you joy. It makes you happy. It makes you feel fulfilled and sanity,
and like you say, all kinds of stuff. Sanity. And that's the most important thing. Without sanity, how do we even enjoy a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What God gives is priceless. This world can't give what God gives. God is in this world, thank God, but without him here, this world can't give a shit.
Man, I think we could do like 9 episodes with every single topic we jump on, where we sit on it and we can talk about it forever.
Yeah, because if you don't have inner peace, dude, how do you enjoy your house? If you're riddled and frazzled as fuck with anxiety, how do you even enjoy a sunny day? Nothing is worth it without God. It's like without God, I'd probably be fucking dead. It saved my life. I probably wouldn't even be here. I would have left this world at 14, because the mind is so powerful and the thoughts can get so strong and dark. And he's the only entity that has that power in his word that can actually take you out of that fucking darkness. So when I see people suffering, I can relate because I've been there and I know how dark the mind can go. So what God gives is beyond what this world could give us. Can't even fucking enjoy looking at the sky without God. It scared the shit out of somebody.
Now, even when you were in the circle and watching you be in the circle, just to bring it up, you were a outspoken religious person even on that.
Well, yeah, and it was not even an act. It's literally me doing what I do in the world. It's so funny. I have friends. They're like, "You're like a gay preacher." They're like, "You're the pastor of pop culture," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that is hilarious." It is who I am. It is what I live and breathe and do. I'm not a perfect person. I work on it every day. I slip up. People ask me why I don't become a preacher, and I'm like, well, I cuss too damn much and I love to drink. But, God uses imperfect people to do amazing things. So I had a wonderful time. It's what allowed me to enjoy that whole ride. It's what kept my mind calm. It's what kept me in the game and present in it instead of double guessing, second guessing, all that crap, overthinking. I was there just doing my shit and I had a wonderful time.
Now, I would love to hear about your time in the circle. I don't know if you saw, I interviewed Roxana.
Love her. I just met her a few weeks ago.
Really? So is there still like reunion parties or something?
Well, season 3 just wrapped up, and the reunion parties were in the Jersey area and one in Los Angeles. And I was very fortunate to go to the Jersey one because I hadn't been to the East Coast in a few years. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to that one and show my support to all the season 3 kids. And God, it's just so cool. The love that they have for us season 1 folks, it's just so beautiful. I remember walking into the room and everybody screaming. And I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing. I love all of them, all of season 2. We all get along. It is the coolest thing. When do you watch a reality show where everybody actually gets along? We all genuinely get along.
You know what? You're so right. Like, I interviewed a guy that was on Love Island.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that show, like, most of them are meant to be dramatic. You're meant to see the crying, the sad, the yelling, the mad, the happy, whatever it is. But even when I interviewed Roxana, I said right to her, I said, it's so weird watching The Circle because you've got 10 people behind screens that are all so different.
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest thing is, and I hate to relate it to high school is, but if you put all 10 of those people in high school, they're all in different cliques.
Mm-hmm.
You put them here where you can only see a picture of them and get to know who they are as a person. And the second they're off of there and they're in person, they are like, it's like they're like best friends. Everyone can talk to anyone. You've got every ethnicity. You've got all these different people with different sexualities, men, women, whatever it may be. And they're all just human.
That dude, and the experience is the glue. The experience we all had going into The Circle is the glue that holds us all together. We lean on each other through the good times and the bad times. I know when my season came out, we did not have any idea how big this show was about to be. We debuted January 1st, 2020. This was right before the pandemic. And I remember that New Year's Day, seeing my Instagram and everything just skyrocketing like I've never seen before. And then the pandemic hit and the show just got a second tsunami of a wind and it blew up. I knew things were really changing right before my eyes when I walked into a CVS pharmacy down the street from my house. And these girls were just like in awe. They could not believe I had walked in. It was the wildest thing. Dude, this show has changed all our lives. And that experience is something only we know being on it. And that's why I think it's the glue that holds all of us together.
Dude, I applied.
Yeah, you got to keep applying.
I applied and I did the message. And man, I got to put together like a message with like you and Roxana in it and be like, I need to be the next guy on this thing.
Oh, I love that. Definitely never stop. This was not my first reality show rodeo. For many, many years, I had been applying to many shows and I always got so close, or they had me on standby and things like that. But The Circle was my official my debut to the world, doing my thing. And it was me getting over that hump, that hill. Right before The Circle, I was on another show. My good friend Alyssa Edwards, she's a world famous drag queen for the RuPaul's Drag Race franchise. She has her own reality show on Netflix called Dancing Queen. And in those days, I was doing pop culture reporting in the morning on a nationally syndicated morning show out of Dallas. And after that had wrapped up a year of doing that, she landed her own show. She's like, I want you to come be on my show. I know you're going to do this. And I was like, let's roll, girl. And that was my first taste of reality TV, but The Circle is me in the arena by myself. And I'm just forever thankful. It's been so crazy, dude. So never give up. Keep going.
I'm going to keep applying.
Keep going. Everybody listening, don't give up, batch. Keep going. The Lord says, keep knocking, honey. Knock, and the door will be open. So knock on all the doors.
So, oh my God, that's funny. I think it'd just be hilarious. If you had a choice of one show, like you said, you've applied to other shows, reality TV shows to be on. If you had your choice at one, take away The Circle, do you have one that you would choose?
I think today, if there is a show that I think I would be really good on or would flourish on, would probably be Queer Eye. Most definitely would be Queer Eye. If one of the cast members today decided to leave, I would call Netflix, be like, I think this is the next vehicle for somebody like me. Because I'm not that kind of person that wants to throw bottles at people and cuss them out and all that. I love that Queer Eye lifts folks up, changes their lives, makeovers and all that. And plus, I'm a professional makeup artist as well. I love fashion, all that. So I think I could bring that side of me into that realm and really help a lot of folks. But back in the day, reality shows that I had auditioned for, oh my gosh, tons of them. I got cast on a show called Fire Island in 2011. I literally got on the cast. When I arrived from New York back to Dallas after doing that audition, they told me the network had dropped the whole idea. So there went that. I was on standby on some show called Utopia that's on the Fox network. I remember I was in talks with MTV for getting my own reality show that revolves around my Hispanic family. I had talks with so many of these big people for many, many years. And the circle was finally somebody saying, there's something in this kid. We're going to throw him out into the world and see what it does. And I mean, you can't even make up the reception I received from the world. It is something so supernatural because as a gay man on reality TV, it can go either way. They're going to hate the shit out of you or they're going to like you. And I remember asking God to protect me because I didn't know where this is going to lead, what's going to happen. And the reception I got was just beyond my imagination. I'm forever thankful to all the people that see something in whatever I do, whatever I put out into the world. I just am forever thankful. It's been so positive. Yeah, every now and then I'll see a negative comment about me, but it's a handful out of the world. It is just mind blowing.
How did it feel? Like you said that your Instagram blew up and you started gaining all the followers and all that happened. Obviously you don't have the phone in the circle.
No phone.
How crazy. Like, wait, so like the circle, you don't have your phone while you're in it. How long after you left the circle did your season air?
Oh, okay. So we wrapped up September the 9th of 2019, which was my 31st birthday. Nice. I was flying back home on my 31st birthday. We had just wrapped up. And so from September the 9th to January 1st, it was the biggest secret we all had. None of my friends, besides my close, immediate circle, knew what was going on in my life. People, when I got back to the US, had my phone with me, my Facebook, everything was like, where the fuck you been? We ain't seen you at the club. What's going on? Are you okay? And it was a huge secret. And then right before the debut's coming, Netflix is sending us assets that now we're to put out there. And when the world found out, my friends, the people here in Dallas, they're like, oh my gosh, it was just the most coolest thing. And then the show drops. And then, oh my gosh, it was like a Pandora's box was just open. I mean, the floods of messages on Twitter and all social media was beyond. I could have never written everybody back, which was the sad thing.
Did it all get dropped at the same time? The whole season?
Nope. It was a 3-week event, 4 episodes each week, I believe. Oh. Yeah. So 4 episodes January 1st. Then we came back the next Wednesday of the following week with 4 more. So it was a fun 3-week ride that continued on because the pandemic hit. And then after the pandemic hit and we were really in the thick of it, the fall or winter of 2020, I believe, it debuted in the United Kingdom. So it got 3 lives, debut, pandemic, United Kingdom. And it hit so big in the UK. We made it to the top 10 over there and in Ireland and Europe that received it for the first time because they hadn't seen it yet. The whole world got to see it just because of contractual things. The UK and some parts of Europe hadn't seen it yet. It blew up over there. And then when season 2 debuted early this year, it got another win. So my season has had 4 lives already. Massive live. Thank you, God.
Did you see the growth in your Instagram as the episodes were releasing?
Oh, yes. Beyond. I went into this whole thing with like 4,000 followers. Not that matters to anybody listening. I don't want you to base your life on followers. It is a blessing, but it does not define you. Okay. But I had like 4,000 something followers. And I thought when we got to 8,000, I said, oh my God, look, Mom, 8,000. This is so wild. Never in a million years did we anticipate it to get to where it got. Sammy was the first to pass the 1 million mark and she is thriving and everything. And I landed where I'm at this point. And I'm thankful, honey. I didn't have none of this to begin with. And I'm just so thankful because it's changed my life and my family's life in a positive way. in a very positive way.
You're like, it's so true though. The first season was so good because I go through every time I sit down and watch a reality TV show, I'm the same type of person. I believe if you don't take risk, you're never going to get the reward. So I message people who have been on a reality TV show or people that I find hilarious or someone that I think that'd be so awesome to talk to. Like I messaged you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they read it. Sometimes they never respond. Sometimes they say no. I've had people ask for money to be on. I've had whatever it may be. But I realized like your season, I went through the people that were on your season. I went to Joey. I went through you just named her.
Shuby, Sammy.
Shuby was the first person that was on TV to ever answer me on social media.
Oh, he's the best. Best.
I messaged him when I had probably like 4,000 followers. And I know like I truly do believe is you. Like this is something that I want to do forever. So I need the followers to be able to do this as a full-time thing. But Shuby was the first person to respond. And I was like losing my mind. I was like, oh my God, this guy that was on TV responded. And he's like, and it was just after you guys had actually, no, it was last year. No, it was this year, probably like February. But you guys are so busy, like, because your season was so big. And when I went, like, oh, I'm rambling again. When I go through all the people that were on your season, your following is so strong.
You know, they're very kind. And of course, the following fluctuates. So for anybody out there that gets on reality TV, if you start seeing like a drop in followers, it's normal. It's normal. It goes up and down all around. Don't let that define you. You just be blessed and grateful for wherever it lands, wherever the wheel lands. And yeah, but we're very blessed that the people that follow us are really cool folks. Sometimes you'll get messages from somebody that it's just so out there that you just are compelled to respond. And then you start talking to these folks. We are very blessed to have some of the coolest people out there enjoying this whole thing that we're on right now. And it's the coolest. I'm thank you, everybody out there.
Is there one thing that like, I don't know what comes after this. Like what comes after being on reality TV? You get home, obviously your Instagram and your handle is blown up. People around the world know who you are. People love you. People message you. People have to talk to you. Like what happened next?
Well, it is something you learn because none of us knew this or how to navigate through this. And it is something we've all learned. And I think that was what made being so close so beautiful, that we were kind of like a band and we could talk to each other and write each other, be like, dude, so this is happening. So we were like a band. And we're still a band, and it feels amazing. And we give advice to the new kids coming through the show, and that's why it also builds that bond more and makes us even closer. But it's definitely mind blowing to get that influx of messages from around the world. Or if you say something political, it might make somebody mad or something. It's very, very interesting. So for anybody going into this, if this ever happens to you or you get to experience it, my advice is know who you are. Just really know who you are, and remember to enjoy this ride, but focus always on God and do everything for God, and don't fall into the trap of becoming a people pleaser, because when you have the whole world watching you, if you're going to become a people pleaser in that sense, you may just lose your freaking mind. So do everything for God, have faith in him, stay focused on him, and everything will find its place. Now, this is not to say, don't entertain the people or don't give people fun. No, definitely do that, but do everything with God in mind so that you can keep your sanity.
Yeah.
I
don't know why I wrote down one of these questions. I wrote down, what's your favorite Netflix show?
Oh my gosh.
But you had said that you wanted to be on, was it Queer Eye?
I would love to do Queer Eye. Love, because of what it does to lift people's hearts and spirits up. And I love that because it's like medicine to the soul. But I'm such an epic fan of epic things, like movies like Alexander or Troy and all that, Titanic, all that kind of stuff, Lord of the Rings. One of my favorite shows on Netflix is a show called Versailles. And this ended a while back. I believe it had like 3 seasons, but I mean, I was glued to it like crazy. The costumes, the storyline, it was so beautiful. And I also like the show that ended as well called and with the E. So freaking everything. I'm that kind of guy. I like those kind of shows.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's my favorite genre on Netflix. Now, this may not have to do with Netflix, what I'm about to say right now, but I just watched that movie Dune for the first time that just came out, a new movie called Dune with Timothy, I think his last name's Chalamet, and Zendaya. It is so good, you guys. I'm not getting paid or nothing to say this. It's so good. And I think I have undiagnosed ADD. I mean, I was glued to this TV in my room, just gagging over how amazing Dune is. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it, Greg, for you to go watch a Dune tonight. It's on HBO Max.
Wow. Okay. Dune.
Dune. Dune. Badass costumes, badass everything. You're going to love it. Get you some beer and watch Dune.
Works for me. Yeah. Anything involving beer, you can probably get me convinced to do it.
Amen. You'll love Texas, honey. Beer everywhere. It rains beer here.
Perfect. Before we go, I wanted to play a small game with you if you're interested.
I love games. Let's do it.
It's a game of Would You Rather.
Ooh, all right.
All right. So the first question is, would you rather be an actor or a singer?
I would rather be a singer. I would rather be a singer because music, God, what it does for people. It brings back memories. It moves the heart, makes you cry, makes you dance. Oh, I love it. Singer, definitely singer.
All right. Would you rather know when or how you're going to die?
I would rather know when.
Really?
When. That way it makes you live more with more purpose, more. Because if somebody said you're going to die in 5 days, well, then I only got 5 days to wrap this shit up and make it the best 5 days of my life, you know? But if you knew how you were going to die and it's not something you want to hear, then those next 5 days, let's just say, are full of terror because you're anticipating what's going to happen in that. Let's say if it was a bad way to die, you know, you'd be like, oh, fuck.
You know, like you're so easy to just answer these questions. I sat there like thinking about these questions and I'm like, okay, if I know when, then I'm going to be losing my mind or trying to get everything done so quickly before I die, which would be kind of nice because then I can make sure I plan for like my family's future or whatever it may be. But if I know how, then I can try and avoid it. Like let's say it's like you get hit by a bus. Mm-hmm. I'm never going near a bus. How can I possibly ever die then?
Right. Then a bus comes crashing into your house and you die, you know? Nothing can stop what is going to happen. Nothing, you know? So I would rather, if I was going to have to choose, I would say when.
Yeah, I'm so surprised. I get it. I can see the pros of it for sure. Would you rather date someone that you love or date someone that loves you?
Oh, that's a good one. I would rather date someone I love. Because it brings about so much good for me, so much good that I would do for somebody else. And I would just hope that they would love me as much as I love them, because I don't want to use somebody. Or have them hanging around just for me. I'd rather give to somebody than all about me. Yeah. That answers that one.
This one isn't really a would you rather, but if you could commit one legal crime, what would it be?
Ooh, if I could commit one legal crime, honey. Oh my gosh, what would I want to do if I could commit one legal crime? I would want to be able to get so much freaking money from something or some way, somehow, so that I could help people that I know that need financial help. Kind of like that movie Set It Off. Yeah, just go in and if I could get away with it, I'd put on a mask with my homies, roll up in a lowrider and get all that money from a bank and call it Set It Off Part 2.
I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I feel bad. Just the idea of stealing makes me feel bad, but I know so many people who are suffering, and to be able to bless them with money somehow so that their suffering ends. It's almost like a Robin Hood kind of deal.
It's almost like you have to like rob a billionaire and only take 1 billion. So like you're set for the rest of your life, but they really don't notice. You
Right,
know what I
because they
mean?
they get billions while taking a dump. So
That's
no, definitely.
exactly so.
It goes down to the Robin Hood thing. It's like getting from the uber rich so you can help all the poor who are struggling.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would definitely be that, I guess.
The last one here, and I always ask it because it makes me laugh. I don't ask every guest it, but when I play Would You Rather, I always ask it. Smell like shit, and only you can smell it, or everybody smells it except you.
Oh my gosh. Smell like shit and only I could smell it, or smell like shit, everybody can smell it, but not me. I would choose, I guess I smell like shit and only I can smell it.
I
I would do
agree.
that. Yeah. Because gosh, a foul smell is just so bad. It makes people nauseated and dizzy, and you just want to puke and run away. It's the worst.
I always look at it as I'm gonna get used to smelling like shit, I guess. But
Mhm.
take away all the like meeting new people, cool opportunities, potentially doing anything more related to TV if you just walk around smelling like a bag of crap all day.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, just thinking about it, I'm like, oh gosh, because I've been in situations where unfortunately I'm around folks, God bless their hearts, that don't smell so fresh, and it makes me dizzy. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know if I'd want to be dizzy all the time or make people dizzy all around me. Then they'd be puking, and then the smell just keeps getting worse, like a big old snowball of shit.
That's so funny. People smelling not so fresh.
Oh gosh, no, I have, especially when I was in elementary school and kids weren't wearing deodorant and everybody smelled like a bag of like, corn chips and stuff. It was it was a
Smelling like a
mess.
bag of corn chips. Fuck, I
Corn
gotta
chips
write
and
these down.
feet and upper lip and butt. It's like, oh honey, yeah, we need a power wash up in here and spray everybody.
Well, Chris, I just got to say, like, that was probably the easiest hour I've ever done.
Oh
I honestly
man.
truly believe we could talk for hours and hours about some just crazy things related to life. I didn't even really talk that much about the circle, and that was like my main focus at the beginning. But you're just such an interesting person, so easy to talk to. I'm so glad you
Oh.
got the opportunity in your life to do that and to show people in the world who you are and how accepting you are. I hope that you get another chance to be on TV so everyone and more people can see who you are and what you're all about. If anyone wants to go see Chris, it's Chris Sapphire on Instagram. That's his handle. I believe that's probably what it is on Twitter as well.
Yeah, you guys, if you'd like, just Google Chris Sapphire and all my handles pop up. That way you can find the right one because there's people out there pretending to be me. So just make sure you Google it, and Google will give you my right social media platforms: Instagram, Mr. Chris Sapphire, Twitter, Chris Sapphire, and so on, so on, so on. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I want everybody out there to always know God loves you, honey. Don't let no one take God away from you. Focus on Him, and everything will find its right place in your life. If you're going through something, keep going, because shit really does change. I'm telling you, because I went through it, I lived it, I'm still here, and you deserve to be here too. So keep your head up, honey, because tomorrow is a brand new day. And always stay tuned, because you never know who's going to walk through a door.
Oh my gosh, the reference. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Thanks for your time, giving a small town kid an opportunity to talk to you and then hear about your life. And I hope to do it again someday. Maybe someday we'll be able to have some beers and talk some smack on my other podcast.
And I can't wait, man. God bless you. Cheers to you, and keep on going.
Thanks, Chris. Have a great night, eh?
You too. Take it easy.